Welcome back. One final point before we go. In case we needed any more evidence that the Democratic Party and liberals in their pink genitalia hats are anti-woman, here we go. Why should we trust a party that tells us they champion women when that party, the Democratic Party, actively covers up for sexual abusers? People, this is not new. The Democratic Party is the party of Bill Clinton. Are you really trying to tell me Bill Clinton's party respects women? Well, I have 3 points for you. Cigars, Oval Office, and an $800,000 payout to Paula Jones. Are you liberals really trying to tell us that Republicans are the ones waging a war on women? When the darling of the liberal left, a man who placed himself at the forefront of the Me Too movement, marching with the Women's March, also brutally beat 4 ex-girlfriends and made them act like his sex slaves? This is why I didn't trust, from day one of this whole thing, I didn't trust the liberal politicians or the liberal media talking heads who rushed to show us how virtuous they were. To call out Mike Pence, of all people, for being a misogynist? It's called virtue signaling, and newsflash, people who virtue signal a lot of times are guilty of whatever they're accusing other people of doing. The Democratic Party is not the party of women. The Democratic Party is the party of Planned Parenthood, who targeted Kellyanne Conway on Twitter after Conway called out New York Attorney General Eric Schneiderman for his abuse of women. Planned Parenthood said, "Kellyanne, delete your account." Why? Because Kellyanne is a conservative woman who's pro-life? Because Planned Parenthood is so quick to defend monsters like Eric Schneiderman, who slap women in the face so hard the women have to get medical care? Just as long as that man supports abortion. Well, Eric Schneiderman does support abortion. Schneiderman served as a Planned Parenthood abortion clinic escort back in the day and brags about it to this day. Funny, maybe that's why Planned Parenthood is so lukewarm about condemning his sexual abuse. But Schneiderman's in good company at the Women's March, isn't he? With Harvey Weinstein. Weinstein marched too. They say that's where Weinstein went to case his next victim. Meanwhile, co-founder of the Women's March, Linda Sarsour, tells women Sharia law is good for us. You know, the Sharia law that allows men to beat their wives as long as the rod they use isn't larger than a thumb. Allows men to kill their daughters if the daughters shame the family. Allows men to stone women to death if that woman is raped. Forces young girls to be married to older men against their will. Are you getting why I and people like me don't trust liberals when they say their party fights for women? I don't trust liberal politicians in pink pussy hats because of Harvey Weinstein, Linda Sarsour, and Eric Schneiderman. Remember Al Franken? He groped a woman while she was sleeping and he took a picture of her. Remember when the California state legislature lost its Democratic supermajority because Democratic members were expelled for sexual harassment? Ann Romney, the mother of 5, never worked a day in her life, liberals told us. Do you call that respect for women's choice? If you're pro-life, you're not a real woman, the Women's March told us. Are liberals telling us how to be women now? See, this is the crux of the matter. How can a party that abuses women from the time they're in utero, abuses women when they face unplanned pregnancies, tells women the only way to be successful is to abort that child? A party that encourages young women to be sexually promiscuous, even though studies show that the longer you wait to have sex, the more successful and stable you are, and that those who keep sex inside a monogamous marriage are more sexually fulfilled. A party that tells little girls it's wrong to dream about their weddings and Prince Charming. That is from former First Lady Michelle Obama. This is the same party that boasts a former presidential candidate who told us young women we should vote for her because we both have lady parts. Why would I and people like me believe the Democratic Party, who disrespects women from the moment we're conceived until we redeem ourselves by voting for their pantsuit mafia? Why would I believe this party that covers up the political affiliation of the Democratic power player Eric Schneiderman, who brutally beat 4 women? Why would I believe they actually respect and support women? Their track record shows they don't. And that's my final point. You can reach me on Twitter at Liz_Wheeler. If you like the show, please send me an email at oann.com/contact. In the meantime, catch us here tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. And until then, have a good night.